What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? We have the cast of Whistles in the Wind. We're going to start from this end and go all the way down. Everybody introduce themselves.
What's going on, y'all? My name is Sterling Calhoun. I play Donnie.
What's going on? My name is Leon Alexander, and I play Carl.
How y'all doing, everybody? My name is Eric Stafford, and I play EJ.
Hey, what's good? It's Jamal Molly Mizar. White, what's good with you? I play a mid.
What's good, family and friends? It's your big homie TC Caldwell, BKA Stormy Weathers, and I'm playing Mr. Jimmy in Whistles in the Wind. And we here with our director.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself, sir.
So, of course, I'm Sherrod Lee Smallman. I am director, writer, all the other good stuff for this play, Whistles in the Wind. And first I want to say it has been an honor to be here with these gentlemen. They're super talented, super gifted. They're putting up some Broadway level choices. They're doing some amazing things. So I want to ask y'all, so being with each other for, I don't know how many months now, 3-4 months now. What are some things y'all are starting to see in this play that are really hitting home with y'all as men? Because this play is really about 5 men, but not just about the 5 men who are actually in this factory, but how these 5 men are being affected by their families, being affected by the men that were in their lives, fathers, sons. So how does this reflect on your life as a man? We can start with any one of y'all.
Well, I'll chime in. Not to give nothing away, but in the play, a lot of these men go through something along the lines of like job loss. And as a person who's lost a job after working at the place for like 15 years, I come to identify with the place that I was working at, because that bread and butter that I was bringing in allowed me to afford the lifestyle that I was living for myself and for my child. And when I lost that job, there was a overwhelming pressure to be able to maintain that lifestyle for myself and for my kid. And the weight of that kind of sent me into a bit of depression for a little bit that it took a long time to come out of. So it was like that particular element in this play reflected a lot of what I was going through for that time, something that I had never experienced in my life. So it was telling a part of the story of my life that I was even just a part of. So it resonated with me in that regard a lot.
How about y'all? How about the rest of y'all? How the idea of manhood and being at factories, and how you affected, how these characters affected other men's lives, how men affected their lives. How did that resonate with some of y'all?
Well, I'll go. Not to give anything away as well, but I'll say the role of fatherhood, you kind of look at it differently. We all have our own experiences, even with the play. The different characters, they have their own experiences. But to those of us who are fathers, like, it kind of shines lights on things that we might not think big of, or we can just overlook, that can just be something so easily, but we don't really see the big picture of how that person is affected, how our child is immediately affected by some of the decisions we made, some of the actions we've done. So, this play has definitely helped me learn more, understand more, and even, I could put something out there. My father hasn't been in my life, and I'm 35 years old. So, just reading this script and seeing some things, like you kind of get a different learning curve, or a different way to understand why some things had to happen the way that they did. So
yeah, so it has some layers to it. So tell me about some of the layers that affected y'all within this play, like, different levels of different characters, even if it's not your character. Like, how had some levels of the other characters affected you, or you might took it home and thought about that for a while, because we talk about it all the time behind the scenes. So y'all can share some of it right now, briefly.
There's duality within all the characters. There's duality between how they're moving independently and then how they move corporately with each other. There's an idea that that's their village. Within the relationship of the men that you're seeing in this factory, that's their village, and how they take care of each other. And the duality is what it is that they have to manage outside, but then what they bring to each other at work as well. Mm-hmm. And it's also a place where they get to vent. where they get to express themselves. We'll be digging deep into characters that, you know, most of us, I can almost probably say most of us here have known in our lives, but might not have known the story. You know, I'm old enough to remember, you're old enough to remember the factories around the way, you know, growing up in Norfolk. And I remember those, and that reminds me of the time, even for our country, where the economy was developed differently, because you did not have to have a formal secondary education to be able to provide for your family. You didn't need it. You were able to work long enough to sustain your family and buy a home and have a car and raise your children and pretty much do well for yourself. We are now, you know, I see a lot of the older cats that are still around from those times and eras, and they almost seem out of place because of the digital era. You know, how certain things, everyone there need a engineering degree to know how to operate a telephone for some folks. And for the youngin, you know, for those that grow up with it, it was like us growing up with the factories. We knew how to work with our hands. We knew how to do what a hard day's work looked like. Whereas as time has changed, things have become so easy and so simplistic in some people's minds. You give a 2-year-old, you got 2-year-olds running around on how to operate a cell phone, tablet, and entertain themselves. Where you got grandparents like, what is, you know, how do you do that? So we get to see the duality within the characters, and all of our characters have a duality that's going to be observed throughout the story.